Hello everyone, welcome to Sam Science View channel. In today's video, we are going to listen to a science fact how the eyes work. Before getting into the video, please watch this entire video and if you have any science related queries, get it rectified through this channel. Now let's get into the video. The eye is a fascinating part of your body and the second most complex organ after the brain. All the different parts of your eyes work together to help you see. Approximately 80% of everything we learn comes through our eyes. The question is how? The eye contains over 2 million working parts and is considered the second most complex organ in the body, which is the most complex is the brain. The inner structures of the eye all work together to produce an image that your brain can understand. Now let's see the parts of the eye. First is cornea. It is a clear dome-like structure that covers the front of the eye and is responsible for bending light as it enters the eye. Second is the pupil, the dark opening in the center of the eye that opens and closes in response to light intensity. Third is iris, the colored part of the eye that is made up of muscles that control the pupil, which is contracting the pupil in bright light and expanding the pupil in low light. Fourth is sclera, the white part of the eye that surrounds the iris. This structure is made up of fibrous tissue that protects the inner structures of the eye. Fifth is the lens, which is located behind the pupil, which is transparent structure focuses light onto the retina. Sixth one is the ciliary body, which is located behind the iris, which is the structure contains a muscle that helps to focus the lens. The seventh one is vitreous humor, which is a clear jelly-like substance that fills the central cavity of the eye. The eighth one is the retina, which is the light-sensitive membrane that lines the back of the eye and is responsible for transforming light signals into electrical impulses to be sent through the optic nerve to the brain. Ninth one is the rods and cones, which are photoreceptors located in the retina responsible for processing light signals. Rods allow you to see shapes while cones allow you to see colors. And the 10th one is the macula, which is the center of the retina responsible for central vision and vision for fine details. And the last one, 11th one, is the optic nerve, which is a bundle of nerve fibers that contains more than 1 million nerve cells, which is located in the back of the eye. This nerve is responsible for carrying visual information from the retina to the brain. In order to produce a clear image, the eyes must complete a 5-step process. First step is that light enters the eye through the cornea. When we look at an object, the light that is reflected off of the object enters the eye through the clear front layer of the eye called the cornea. The cornea bends the light before it passes through a watery substance that fills the area behind the cornea called the aqueous humor. The step 2 is the pupil adjusts in response to the light. The light continues to travel through the black opening in the center of the iris called the pupil. The iris is the colorful part of your eye that gives it its blue, green, hazel, brown, or black appearance. The pupil then automatically gets bigger or smaller depending on the intensity of the light. How does the pupil expand and contract? The iris is actually made up of muscles that expand and contract to control the pupil and adjust its size. So when you see your pupil getting bigger or smaller, it is really the iris that is controlling the pupil opening in response to the intensity of light entering the eye. Step 3 is the lens focuses the light onto the retina. The light passes through the pupil to the lens behind it. The lens adjusts its shape to bend and focus the light a second time to ensure that you have a clear image of what you are looking at. At this point, the light has been bent twice as it moved from the cornea through the lens and then from the lens to the retina. This double bending has actually flipped the image upside down. Step 4 is the light is focused onto the retina. The light then passes from the lens to the back of the eye, which is filled with a clear gelatinous substance called the vitreous, until it reaches the retina, the light sensitive layer at the back of the eye. The light is then focused throughout the retina, which contains nerves called photoreceptors. The photoreceptors are made up of rods and cones and are responsible for transforming the light rays into electrical impulses. While the light is focused throughout the retina, most of the light entering the eye is focused onto the focal point of the retina known as macula. And the final step 5 is the optic nerve transmits visual information to the brain. The nerves of the retina collect all of the electrical impulses, which then travel through the optic nerve at the very back of the eye up to the optical lobe in the back of the brain. At this point, the light then passes from the lens to the back of the eye, which is filled with a clear gelatinous substance called vitreous, until it reaches the retina, the light sensitive layer at the back of the eye. Now let's see the eye-brain connection. Vision is dependent on the connections between eyes and the brain. The light that enters the eye is required to go through a specific process in order to focus properly on the retina. If the connections between the eye and the brain are not well developed, the visual information that is sent to the brain will not be interpreted properly and the image will be difficult to see. The process of seeing is dependent on the perfection of the eye and all of its components, including eyeball shape, corneal shape and its integrity, lens clarity and curvature, and retinal health. If any of these components do not function properly or are irregularly shaped, vision problems can occur. Most commonly, blurry vision will develop. When this happens, corrective lenses in the form of eyeglasses or contact lenses are prescribed to help the light focus accurately to the retina and enable clear vision. So to summarize, first the light passes through the cornea, the clear front layer of the eye, and which is the shape of a dome, and bends light to help the eye focus. Some of this light enters the eye through an opening called pupil. The iris, which is the colored part of the eye, controls how much light the pupil lets in. And next, light passes through the lens, a clear inner part of the eye, and which works together with the cornea to focus light correctly on the retina. When the light hits the retina, which is a light sensitive layer of tissue at the back of the eye, special cells called photoreceptors turn the light into electrical signals. These electrical signals travel from the retina through the optic nerve to the brain. Then the brain turns the signals into the images you see. Your eyes also need tears to work correctly. So this is what the eyes look like, and we can see any object using this processes through the help of this cornea, pupil, iris, and this lens and retina and this optic nerve, which is sending our light rays into electrical impulses to the brain, and which is being conveyed, and we can see the object. So this is how the eyes work, and I have concluded this video, and this is what about the eyes work. I hope so you got some idea about how this eyes work. And if you have any science related queries, you can ask to me and get it rectified. We'll meet in the next Science Fact Treasury series. Until then, it's goodbye from Sam. Take care.